Alright guys, SOL number 3 for Algebra 2, another review. First thing we have to be able to do is solve quadratics. We have 4 options. The calculator, if it's a good answer, which means an integer, factoring, quadratic formula, and completing the square. Alright, we're going to do one of each way. Hopefully you know the calculator way, we'll do the other ones. Factoring, x squared plus 4x minus 5 is a basic factoring. Sign's negative in the back, so it's a plus minus. X in the front. What multiplies to give me 5, subtracts to give me 4. I'm going to pick 5 and 1, and I'm going to pick 5 minus 1 because I want a positive 4 in the middle. Set each one equals 0. I get x equals negative 5 and x equals positive 1. Two real solutions. All right. Second one, we're going to complete the square. You don't have to do it this way, but it's one of my ways I like to do if it sets up. No leading coefficient, even in the middle. X squared minus 6x equals negative 10. Move the 10. Now the process, I take half of negative 6 and get x minus 3. I square negative 3 and I get 9, and I have to put it on both sides. Negative 10 plus 9 is a negative 1. I'm going to write it down here so we can see it better. Remember, squares, our goal is to find two answers. To cancel a square, I'm going to square root. X minus 3 equals the square root of negative 1 is I. But because I canceled a square by square rooting, I get plus or minus. Add a 3. And this time, I got two imaginary roots. All right. Move the constant. Half my middle is minus 3. So I have x minus 3 squared. Square it, plus 9, negative 1, and solve. All right, quadratic formula. A, B, and C. So I'm going to go negative 6 plus or minus the square root of negative 6 squared minus 4 times my A times my B, all divided by 2 times my A. 6 plus or minus the square root of 36 minus 180 over 18. 6 plus or minus the square root of negative 144 over 18. 6 plus or minus, this is square root of 144 is 12. Square root of a negative is I over 18. Take a 6 out of all of them. 1 plus or minus 2i over 3. Again, two imaginary roots. Going quick. Should be a review. Understand, two real roots means it crosses the x-axis at two places. Two imaginary roots means it doesn't cross at all. The other option is we could have one real root if it just touches. All right, solving absolute value inequalities. To solve this, I need to write 2. X plus 3 is greater than 1. Then x plus 3 is flip it over, less than negative 1. X is greater than negative 2. X is less than negative 4. This is a greater than symbol, and we need to remember greater or. Absolute value inequalities, we have to have a less than or a greater than, and it's in either an and or an or. Greater or is an or statement, so I'm going to grab both of these, negative 4 and negative 2. Open circle to the right, open circle to the left, and if it's an or statement, I need it all. So my answer are both of those inequalities. Going quick, hopefully it's a review. Let me change this. All right, absolute value of x plus 3 is less than or equal to 1. So I'm going to go x plus 3 is less than or equal to 1. X plus 3 is greater than or equal to negative 1. Less than an and statement, so I want what they have in common. X is less than or equal to negative 2, and x is greater than or equal to negative 4. So negative 4, negative 2, close circle to the left, close circle to the right. And since it's an and statement, I want one that has in common. So from -4 to -2. All right, again, hopefully just quick refreshers. All right, absolute value of x minus 7 equals 5. X minus 7 equals 5 is my first one. I can't change that. X minus 7 equals a -5. X equals 12. X equals 2. Two answers. 12 minus 7 is 5. Absolute value of 5 is 5. 2 minus 7 is -5. Absolute value of -5 is 5. So they both work. Always check them to make sure they're good. All right, square root equations. Let's get that square root all by itself. I'm going to square both sides to get rid of a square root. Add a 4 and I get x equal 20. 20 minus 4 is 16. Square root of 16 is 4. Plus 5 equals 9. All right, last one. Rational equations. All right, solve a rational equation. First thing we're going to do is we're going to factor. X plus 1, x minus 6. Now, I need to get common denominators. This is my common denominator, so I need an x minus 6 here. I need an x plus 1 here. All right. Next thing we need to worry about. I am not allowed to divide by 0. So if I set these equal to 0, x cannot be -1 or 6, because if I put a -1 here, my denominator is 0 and it messes it all up. If I put a 6 here, my denominator is 0 and it messes it up. So now I write my equation for x minus 6 plus 1 equals 1x plus 1. For x minus 24 plus 1 equals x plus 1. For x minus 23 equals x plus 1 minus x. Add 23. 3x equals 24. X equals 8. 8 is a good answer because it's not -1 or 6. All right, quick little lesson there. Your assignment for this day, which is May 7th, you're going to do again the warm-up, the review, and the exit ticket. For the 5th, you should have done the warm-up, the assessment, the common assessment, and the exit ticket. Those are your assignments for this week, and we'll continue next week doing more. I hope all is well, and if you need anything, please let me know.